It's so funny. It's so
Well, thank you.
funny.
I'm glad you were able to get through the 9 paywalls to watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's not that easy to access.
No.
And, that's really the hardest thing about producing TV shows is like if it's on Netflix, everybody sees it.
Right.
And
so how do you get something seen today?
You just have to put out a million things until you get on a streaming platform. Because Comedy Central, it's like, I don't know what cable provider I have.
I have no idea.
And it's 9,000 when they ask you.
So I go to this, like the general, I go all the way back on my TV and I look for the search thing and then I search for it and then it tells me like, these are the OnlyFans companies that have the thing. And then but then you have to pay $10 to watch it, but whatever.
I don't even care. Well, yeah, it's very frustrating. My husband's in charge of the tech support and that is one of the main reasons I got married, I feel like, because he just like helps with all of that. But then he gets annoyed and won't help me, and I kind of give up.
How long have you been working with him professionally?
Well, we have a podcast together, the Endless Honeymoon podcast, and I guess that's pretty. Oh, and I guess we're always kind of working together.
We did the special.
Well,
that's what I was wondering. I was like, that seems challenging. You must really, really like him.
That's an interesting way to look at it. It's just, it feels so inevitable.
Really?
I guess. Well, because then you're also like, there's so many things I want to ask him to do just about like the house.
Sure.
And like pick up this and can you close the cabinets?
Right.
And I mean, the other day and then living with a guy, like it's so challenging. Like we have 3 elderly chihuahuas that pee on everything. Oh, wow. And he leaves out for a pee pad the other day. He's done this twice now. My new monogram towels on the floor. And I come home and he's got it really neatly put out. So it's like, so it's not an accident.
Oh, right.
It's not like he just threw it on the floor. He's like, this is where they can pee. So it's like a lot of challenges like that.
Do you feel like it's a vengeful placement?
That's what I thought. Because he also started techno DJing and I do not like techno at all. Because wait, are you a DJ?
No, she
Trixie's
was.
a DJ. Okay.
Yeah, she was. Rest in peace. I feel like, oh my God, this is horrible.
So he started doing like 90s techno from like his office and it's really loud. And I said to him the other day, I was like, are you trying to fuck with me?
Yeah.
And then he brought it up in couples therapy. He's like, I can't believe she thought I was like fucking with her. And I'm like, well, I just don't understand why someone would think like at 11 a.m. this was acceptable in a shared office space.
Yeah. How old is he?
43.
Yeah, at 43, I'm going to take up this really annoying hobby in the home. And
he is like always coming up with new hobbies. I feel like it's because like a woman as a mother, it's like there's no time. No. My hobby is like laundry, but like he's got surfing, he's into RVs and camping, DJing.
Wow.
It's like he's got all these like.
Sounds like a hobo. So I'm watching your stand up and you're like, the style of comedy you do and your point of view. I imagine I would guess that having a child may have changed your worldview a little bit.
Yes, it sucks. And because it's like, I just keep talking about the child and then I'll say something she says to a friend in front of her. She's 4 now, almost 5. And she's like, Mommy, don't tell people what I say.
Is she British?
She does have a British accent. Well, I kind of have like, I've always wanted to be a royal. So like, I'm just always trying to like encourage her.
Does she talk like that at home?
Well, because her palate's really developed. She's always like screaming for caviar. Caviar, Mommy. Do they have caviar here? I'm like, honey, keep your voice down. We're at a Black Lives Matter rally. Like, stop it. She's like so stuck up. But like I had beefaroni till I was 39. Sure. So, I'm like totally down for her. So anyway, but she's been telling me to stop saying things. And then I'm like, oh my God, if I do a Netflix special and like talking about her and then she sees it when she's like 12, what if she hates me?
Oh, what if?
She will, right? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I just have to be able to like tour right now. Yeah. So no one will record it. I'll make fun of her, do the tour, and then give it up.
I think maybe because I've run across this like, I've gotten into hot water talking about people from my personal life on stage or whatever on the podcast.
Me too.
And so that is definitely going to happen. It's going to be tough because I saw a massage therapist in Australia and it was one where the
jerk off one.
Yeah. And I raved about the experience later, but I had called him a hooker. But
no one knew who it was.
I did. It was Nobody. I didn't
All
say.
they know is this country.
The country. I didn't even say the city, I don't think. And like, I didn't describe him.
Right.
I gave a rave glowing review, but because I was also once a hooker back in the day, I used the term kind of flippantly. And I contacted him again to see if he had any, like a recommendation for another city. And he's like, why are you going to talk about it on your podcast? And he said he didn't know who I was anyway. So I was like, you know what? I just have to be very careful about who I talk about. And if you talk about your daughter on stage, it's a wrap. She's going to kill you. So watching your stand up and your like, and the style of comedy you do and your point of view, I imagine I would guess that having a child may have changed your worldview a little bit.
Yes, it sucks. And because it's like, I just keep talking about the child and then I'll say something she says to a friend in front of her. She's 4 now, almost 5. And she's like, Mommy, don't tell people what I say.
Is she British?
She does have a British accent. Well, I kind of have I've always wanted to be a royal. So I'm just always trying to encourage
her. Does she talk like that at home?
Well, because her palate's really developed. She's always screaming for caviar. Caviar, Mommy. Do they have caviar here? I'm like, honey, keep your voice down. We're at a Black Lives Matter rally. Stop it. She's so stuck up. But I had beef running until I was 39. Sure. So, I'm totally down for her. So anyway, but she's been telling me to stop saying things. And then I'm like, oh my God, if she's if I do a Netflix special and talking about her and then she sees it when she's 12, what if she hates me?
Oh, what if?
She will, right? Yeah. So I'm okay, I just have to be able to tour right now. Yeah. So no one will record it. I'll make fun of her, do the tour, and then give it up.
I think maybe because I've run across this, I've gotten into hot water. I'm talking about people from my personal life on stage or whatever on the podcast.
Me too.
And so that is definitely going to happen. It's going to be tough because I saw a massage therapist in Australia, and it was one where the yeah, and I raved about the experience later, but I had called him a hooker.
But no one knew who it was.
It was nobody. I didn't
All
say.
they know is this country.
The country. I didn't even say the city, I don't think. And I didn't describe him.
Right.
I gave a rave glowing review, but because I was also once a hooker back in the day, I used the term kind of flippantly. And I contacted him again to see if he had any, a recommendation for another city. And he's like, why are you going to talk about it on your podcast? And he said he didn't know who I was anyway. So I was like, you know what? I just have to be very careful about who I talk about. And if you talk about your daughter on stage, it's a wrap. She's going to kill you.
Okay, now what about ghosts? If someone's I saw a ghost in my house.
I believe that people see what they see. Because I have seen ghosts.
You have?
Yes. However.
In your house?
In my house, outside of the house.
You've seen them, not felt it?
I've seen them with my eyes. However, it is very important to note that I was under the influence of psychoactive drugs.
That doesn't count.
What doesn't count? The drugs or the ghost?
Well, I mean, I just did ayahuasca and saw a lady motioning to come towards me, but it was because it was, it was a vision from the drug, no?
You wouldn't call a ghost a vision?
And I suppose you would. Maybe an
apparition. Yeah. I mean, but it was a very ghostly, and I was not hallucinating anything else at the time.
Okay.
So it was interesting.
So you entered a different realm, because that's what I noticed when I did the ayahuasca. It's okay, reality is not exactly what we think it is. And
that's for sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
And to think that reality is just this is
depressing.
Yeah, there's other realms, right?
So when did you do ayahuasca?
Recently.
Really? Tell me everything, because I'm very into this.
It was really cool.
Did you puke?
I did.
Yeah.
And the thing I wasn't prepared for is we were very packed in. And then you're sober, you're looking around. It's this tight circle. You have 2 little open glass vases on one side of you and then 2 on the other side. So the one on to your right is your vomit bucket and your Kleenex bucket.
Yep.
And then the one to your left is the other person's vomit bucket and Kleenex bucket. So you're kind of sandwiched in between their vomit. And then the other thing I wasn't really prepared for, because I throw up very neatly. I'm just but all of a sudden you're having this vision, there's music, and you just hear a man across the thing because you're hurling and men are just louder.
Yeah.
It was just like, that was a lot. Because you're already like, okay, can I handle this? Like, I'm peaking. And then that happened. But it's not a perfect drug pretty much because of that. That is the glitch.
I was doing drag back in Boston. Getting the taxi home in drag from the nightclub was always a crash course in sexual assault, because they were always, something about cabbies at that place, they would come to pick up the girls and they would always try to like put my hand on their dick or like, I mean, all the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was chased home by a FedEx truck once.
Oh.
Like chased. I had to run into my apartment. It was so crazy.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, but I was really hot in drag.
I bet.
So,
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
Actually, I haven't heard people talk about that, because it's like so often I feel like all the victims are women.
Yeah. I mean, some of them just look like women too.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like for drag queens, especially, I mean, for trans women, it's like, it is rough.
Yeah.
Rough. Because I don't know, there's something about men who, when they fetishize what they consider to be a taboo, they have this laser focus that's even creepier than their normal mode.
They get even more horny.
Yes. And also, if they think that you have a penis, they kind of assume that it's like, I feel like it's kind of like you're one of the guys, but not. So they can, I don't know. I don't really know how to figure that out, but it is fucking creepy. Like I would be at a drag bar, like after the show, and a guy would come up to me 2 inches from my face, like, can I give you a blowjob?
Really?
Yes. I'd be like, yes. And I missed that.
I'm trying to get back to my pre-child Natasha, who had so much joie de vivre and would like go, river rafting without a helmet and like go to Africa on a spur, like, okay, get vaccines put up and down my arms, go the next day. And now it's like, I'm constantly like worried about choking and like, everything is like a fear-based thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a freedom in not having kids. And it's like,
shit.
I hate that I'm like not this person anymore who had so much, because I was never a scared person. I was just like,
really?
Move to New York, move to London, go to Thailand, go to Australia. And, I just would never look back. And it's just sad in a way, because I want to be that person again.
But I mean, look at Madonna. She's normal. She's got like 12 kids.
She's like in her bathroom at all times making a video, like a sex video with her trainer. Like what our kids are like, Ma, like I'm sure she has her own bathroom, but like that would be funny if that was a shared
bathroom in the mansion. Yeah. 14 bedrooms, one bathroom. Yeah, that'd be so funny. I'll ask you this. So I'm always so fascinated with straight people in this concept of like cheating and betrayal as the ultimate like sin. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
I know what you mean.
What is with that?
Because there's nothing else. Because I've got to be, my daughter is like so important to me.
Yeah.
So I have this family and that's what it is.
But
I'm making that work.
Right.
So the fantasy, I suppose, would be that he dies. And then I'm free to some guy with a yacht, probably is where I would go with that, who's like hot enough. And then I can have the lifestyle I always knew I could have.
That you deserved.
That I deserved.
Yeah. But if Moshe like cheated on you with Blake Lively, let's say.
I wouldn't care who it was with.
Okay.
At this point, after the pandemic, I'm like, go for it. Because I was
Anybody who will fuck
no
you.
hot nannies, no way. And then now after the pandemic, I'm like, oh, let him be hot. Just come over, give him something to look at.
Madonna
can come over. Yeah. I don't know if he'd be into her. But
would you feel like betrayed? Because it's always
if
like.
If he Blake Lively?
Or any woman.
Yes. I would be like, okay, now I get custody.
Oh, divorce. Like straight to divorce.
Well, no, I don't. No, I guess I would be like, okay, now I get one.
Yeah. Quid pro quo.
Well, how does it work if you were in a relationship with a kid?
I don't kids.
No, I'm sorry. You guys have such an amazing, you're so funny together. Yeah, I love listening to your podcast.
Oh, thank you.
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot to say as gay, bald, white men.
Wait, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What? I don't want to get it wrong.
Capital of Romania?
No. Was it, because it's like not top or bottom. What's side?
Oh, side. So like top or bottom is like.
I know what that is.
Yeah. What is it?
What is it when someone's a side? Well, like there's guys who want to be
That's if you that you're a top.
Right.
If you want to get your bottom, but if you want to just eschew anal altogether, you're a side.
Oh, you're never doing anal.
Well, say that's not your preference because think about it.
I don't want to do anal.
Hello? If you're a woman, why would you want to do anal?
Because you want to please the guy so bad and his seems small.
Boom.
That's usually when I have
You're
considered it in the past.
I won't feel that. Go ahead.
But if it hurts.
No shit. And there's no prostate. So what's the point?
Okay, so side is like eschewing.
Yeah, because
anal.
Then, there's a risk of on the unless, you're prepared, which takes time, planning. There's no spontaneous anal sex.
Not everyone has nail scrubbers in their bathroom either, Well, I'm just saying, it's like you got to stick your fingers up.
No fingers. No fingers.
No fingers either?
I say no fingers because I don't trust anybody's fingernail situation.
I know.
I have somebody who has I know somebody who had a perforated colon from it. Yeah.
See, I scheduled my C-section. It was scheduled for 10 o'clock, 10:07. I had great pictures. I had the baby.
Yeah.
I was out of there. I'm not trying to do that.
To rip out the plumbing down there is horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's like, there's so much more you can do besides penetrative anal sex. There's so much more.
I love that.
Go on walks. You can go get ice cream. There's lots of other stuff you can do.
I would definitely be a side.
Yeah.